So welcome to our tutorial on Surya Namaskar, Sun Salutations. So we're going to work through Sun Salutation A and B. I will take you through the Sun Salutation A and B, and then we're going to break it down a little bit so that you can see some of the little specific nuances and adjustments that you might make in each particular posture. So let's come to the top of our mats, and we're going to start in Tadasana, because this is the starting space for all of our standing series. So ground down into the earth, take a few rounds of breath and set your intention for your practice here. Bring the hands to the heart center, find your Tadasana, find your grounded stance, and start to connect in with the breath. Finding a little bit of peace here, a little bit of stillness, a little bit of calm in the crazy. Exhale the hands by the side body. Take a deep inhale, reach the arms up over the head, press the hands, palms together. As you exhale, bow forward, hinge forward from the hips, drawing the body all the way down towards the earth. Inhale, take a flat back. As you exhale, step back to plank. Take Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows by the side body. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Ardha Mukha. Taking a few rounds of breath here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. With the next inhale, bend the knees, look forward, step forward. Inhale to flat back. As you exhale, surrender down, Uttanasana. Inhale, coming all the way up, hands, palms reaching up over the head, press them together. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands by the side. So if we're moving through Sun Salutations, traditionally you would do 5 of those, and that would be a little bit of a warm-up for you. Then we'd move into the second round, which is our Surya Namaskar B, which I'm going to show you and demonstrate for you now. And we do 5 rounds of that as well. Dropping the hands down, sweeping them on the earth, lifting here. So this is our Utkatasana, chair pose. We're going to drop the hips down and we're going to hold here for 2 breaths. Bring the hands to the heart center. As you exhale, surrender the head down to the earth. Bring the hands down to the earth. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step it on back to plank pose. Come down for a Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Ardha Mukha. With the next inhale, step the right foot forward. Turn the left foot out to 45 degrees. Inhale, bring the arms up over the head. Make sure the hips are square to the front of the mat. There's a bend in that front knee, and then you're inhaling, lifting up, pressing the hips forward to open through the hips. Exhale, release the hands down either side of the front right foot. Step back to plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Ardha Mukha. This time, stepping the left foot forward to Warrior 1. Turning the back right foot out. Inhale, and lifting up. Drawing everything towards the midline. Pressing the knife edge of the back foot into the mat. Drawing up through the tummy, feeling that lengthening through the body as you tilt the pelvis and open up the hips. Exhale, hands back down to the mat. Step it on back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, press back. Ardha Mukha. 5 rounds of breath here. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Little micro adjustments. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, look to the hands, bend the knees, step forward, find your flat back. As you exhale, surrender the head down to the earth. Inhale comes, sweeping past the feet to Utkatasana, chair pose. We bring the hands to the heart center and the hands go by the side of the body. So they are our Sun Salutations A and B. As I said, you'd usually take 5 rounds of A, and then you'd work 5 rounds of B, which actually includes 3 Chaturanga Dandasana by the time you've gone through Warrior 1 on the right foot and then Warrior 2 on the left. So just 10 rounds of that you're going to break a sweat. You're going to feel warm if you actually work through that exercise. So there's loads of different things to look at in our Surya Namaskar. But I'm going to take a little bit of a step back just for a moment and just break a few of those important or key points down so that you can improve the technical level of your Surya Namaskar. So as you start in Tadasana, you're going to ground both of those feet down into the earth. You're going to take a deep inhale, float the arms up high, press the hands, palms together. As you bring the hands through the center of the body, through to the heart space, you're going to start to hinge forward. So this starts at the hips. So I want you to start to press the body back, and it's almost like a counterbalance here. And then you can lower the whole body. So the idea is to lengthen through the back body here. And part of that is that you actually do gain some length through the hamstrings. So in order to get that length in the back body, we're going to start to bring the belly down towards the thighs. So in order to do that, if you don't have the most flexible hamstrings, I want you to bend into the knees and start to feel the belly coming down to the thighs. It's as though you're sticking your butt up into the air. So you have full permission to stick your bum in the air here, also known as an anterior tilt of the pelvis. And then you can drop the head. So here I am in Uttanasana, in this forward fold. And it's still a correct forward fold. I don't have straight legs, but my tummy's glued to my thighs and I've relaxed the head, and my hands are at the side of my feet, elbows pointing back. So if you're going a little bit deeper into the posture, you'd straighten through the legs and draw the head down towards the shins. Our next step is our flat back. So we're going to inhale and lift. Again, we have that anterior tilt of the pelvis, it's pressing back. The crown of the head lifts and you're actually gazing forward. Now, if you're not as open in the shoulders, I want you to bring the hands to the shins and use that to engage the core and lift the chest. So the crown of the head is up, you are gazing forward, and this is your halfway lift. The next step is our Chaturanga Dandasana. So we're going to place the hands by the side of the feet. Now, if this is not available to you, perfectly acceptable to place the hands slightly in front. Bend the knees here to get the hands down to the earth as much as you need. That way you can step back to a plank pose. We are here and ready for our Chaturanga Dandasana. We're pressing the earth in. Our hands are nice and spread like starfish. We're pressing, lifting up out of the shoulders, creating space between the shoulder blades, pressing the heels to the back of the room, crown of the head towards the front. We're going to shift the body weight forward. The elbows are going to start to bend, squeezing into the ribs. Inhale and lift up to Urdhva Mukha. And then we're going to exhale, press back to Ardha Mukha. So I'm just going to come back for a moment because Chaturanga Dandasana might not be available to everyone until we've built up the strength. So a couple of variations. Coming from plank, lower the knees. You can come down to your Ashtanga Namaskar, so chin forward, chest connecting with the mat. You're going to uncurl the toes and slide into Cobra pose. So you should be able to lift the hands from the earth here. Both feet pressed into the earth. Then you can tuck the toes, shift the hips back, and lift up into your downward facing dog. Take a few rounds of breath here. So they're the two variations that I like to recommend. You can come down to plank and you can test your strength and build your strength by going as slowly as you possibly can and holding your Chaturanga and then dropping down to the earth uncurling the toes and then lifting up into cobra until you start to build that strength, tucking the toes, pressing back and lifting up into your downward facing dog. So we really want to look after the body here and honour our practice and where we are in the practice. So make sure that you choose the level that's right for you on the day. And that could be different every day, different every day. So to get out of our downward facing dog and come back into our Tadasana, we're going to take an inhale, bend the knees, look towards the hands. We're going to step the right foot, the left foot. We're going to come to our flat back. Exhale, surrender the body down. And then inhale, coming all the way up to standing, always finishing by bringing the hands back to the heart center. What this does is gives you a moment to realign the body in Tadasana, recenter yourself, reconnect with the breath, ground down and prepare for the next round. So our next round is we're going to move into some of those nuances around our Sun Salutation B, which has the addition of Warrior One and a couple of extra chaturangas in there. So the first move that we have is our Utkatasana or chair pose. So from our Tadasana, we're going to sweep the hands down towards the earth. So bend right into the knees, drop the hips. Don't have the bum up here. We really want to drop the hips and build some strength. So you're going to have to squeeze everything right from the feet to the shins, the knees, and the adductors. Squeeze all, squeeze everything, and that way you'll be able to drop the hips down and you'll be able to lift the hands up. So in Ashtanga practice, we do bring the hands together here, and that requires a really big opening of the shoulders and strength in through the mid body and the core. So inhale and lift. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center, and you can surrender the body all the way down to the earth. Again, taking that bend in the knees, finding that creation of that sandwich between the tummy and the thighs. If the hands don't reach the earth, you can place them a little bit in front here. Relax the head. So you're really feeling the beautiful effects of this inversion in this Uttanasana. And then we go through that same practice of lengthening through the back body. And I'm just going to place the hands forward so that I don't step right off my mat. Coming into our plank and taking whatever variation of Urdhva Mukha, Cobra works for you. Tucking the toes, pressing up, downward facing dog. So now we're coming into our Warrior One. So we're going to ever so slightly lift the right leg. We're going to gaze towards the fingertips, and we're going to move that vinyasa to place carefully right foot between the right and left hand. So notice my heel still lifted at the back here. I'm then going to place carefully my left heel, which means turning that left foot out to 45 degrees. My right foot stays in front, squaring off the hips, and I lift up. Now, in this posture, the correct posture is actually with the heel in line with the arch of the foot, but wow, you're going to have to do some work to get there. So the trick here is to take the foot just a little bit wider. So that adjustment is going to allow you, instead of having the hips open here, to bring those hips to a closed posture, which means that both hips are facing square to the front of the mat. If you're still sitting back here, you've got a little bit of work to do. So make some adjustments in the feet that are going to enable you to bring those hips into a square place. Then you can tuck the pelvis under with that posterior tilt and lift all the way up to the sky, telescoping the ribs away from the hips and continuing with that lengthening and lifting. The hands then float down to the mat. Realign that back foot, step the right foot back, and take your variation of Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Ardha Mukha. Here we are again. Slight lift of that back left leg. Gaze towards the hands at the front of the mat. Nyasa, place it carefully. Turning the back right foot out this time. So make sure you get that correct you might like to step that foot a little bit wider to the side of the mat at this point in time, because these little adjustments are going to make this practice a little bit easier for you. You're going to find that you can align the hips. Even from here, you can start to square the hips, which means you're going to start drawing this left knee towards the midline. Inhale and lift high. So we want those hips square to the front of the mat. If you're here, take an adjustment in that back right foot so that you can square the hips off, lift up through the front body, and find your warrior one. And you can stay here and adjust till the cows come home. There's never a dull moment when you're in practice. Exhale, release the hands back down to the mat. Adjust that back right foot so that you can come safely into your plank pose. And then you can exhale for your variation of Urdhva Mukha and Ardha Mukha. Take some rounds of breath here. I like to count to 5 because this is a really good opportunity to recalibrate and connect back in with the breath. If you're finding that was a little overwhelming moving through that space, when you get to the 5th breath, inhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, and you can step the right foot, the left foot together. Come to your flat back. Really find that lengthening through the back body. Exhale, release the head down. And then we come back to our Utkatasana chair pose, sweeping the hands, coming back to our chair pose, bringing the hands to heart center. Taking out Dandasana and regrouping just for a moment. Connecting in with the breath, and maybe that's that place where you'd really like to reset your intention for practice. And in our Ashtanga Vinyasa class, we do move quite quickly through those sun salutations, 5 round of A and 5 round of B. It does go very, very quickly. You might like to make sure that you take care of yourself through this practice. So when you come back to that Tadasana or Samasthehi in the middle, in between each sun salutation, take that moment to bring the hands to the heart center, close down the eyes and realign the self, reconnect with the breath if that's kind of gotten away from you at any point in time. That's important stuff, and that's about that mindfulness of our practice and making sure that we're connecting movement to breath and setting our intention for practice and moving mindfully through our Surya Namaskar. So as we move through those flows, you can see where you get to downward facing dog, and you might be able to add in a few different things in the way that the Surya Namaskar can be a little bit of a joining, almost like the verse of a song, where you might go a little bit crazy during the verse, and then you come back to the chorus, and the sun salutation is actually like the chorus of the song, joining it all together so that you can go back into the craziness of the verse. So I really hope you've enjoyed our tutorial on Surya Namaskar today, and we're going to come back a little bit later and roll through our Hatha Yoga sun salutations.